town known for its Go Green motto and mountainous landscapes. I was born there, and I lived there for about 5 years. The town itself is friendly. There are a lot of fun things to do, like visiting the Oregon Zoo, going to the Rose Garden, or eating at the really weird voodoo donuts. However, there's a dark history that runs underneath its very streets, the infamous Shanghai tunnels, or the Portland Underground. My name is Olivia Mitchell, and today I'm going to inform you on the Shanghai tunnels in Portland, Oregon. First, I'm going to go over a brief history at the beginning of Portland, then I'm going to go into the history of the tunnel, and finally I'm going to tell you about the modern-day tourist attractions that the tunnels are now. So, the beginning of Portland. In 1843, William Overton and Asa Lovejoy docked their canoe on the Willamette River from England, which is in northern Portland. Not England, it's the Willamette River, but you get it. So Overton saw potential in the land, but lacked the 25 cents that was needed to file a land claim. So Lovejoy gave him the money in exchange for sharing the land that would soon become Portland. However, Overton soon got bored and left. So Francis Pettygrove came to share the land with Lovejoy, and they both wanted to name the place after their hometowns, but they couldn't figure out which one. Lovejoy wanted Boston, and Pettygrove wanted Portland, so they flipped a penny to decide which one, and obviously it landed on Portland after Portland, Maine, and they actually still have the penny in the Oregon Historical Museum. So, on to the history of the tunnels. The Shanghai tunnels lasted from 1850 to 1941. At the time, Portland was known as the Forbidden City of the West because of Shanghai. Now, according to Legends of America, the definition of Shanghai is the capture and illegal sale of able-bodied men to sea captains in need of a crew. So that would mean that they would take men, it's basically as slaves, and then make them work on ships bound to different places. So Portland was different than other towns that were doing it at the time, however, because they had something called deadfalls, which were basically trapdoors leading from above ground to the underground. So what they would do is they would have, say, a bar above the tunnels, and there would be traps under certain bar stools in the bars. Now the bartender got a percentage of each person that got sent off to work in the ships. So what they did is they would find the best fit men, and put them on the stools. Then they would give them alcohol that was free until they were thoroughly drunk, I guess, until the guy couldn't stand. Then at that time, the bartender would press a button that was underneath the counter, and so that would signal the guys in the tunnels underground to pull the lever and have the men fall from a 10-feet drop onto a mattress or a bale of hay. They were so drunk they couldn't really resist, and their screams weren't heard because of the loudness from the bar. So, it was about $50 a guy, and they didn't get paid for working on the ships, so they were basically slaves. Yahoo Voices says that 1,500 victims per year were trapped. However, several hundred would die in the tunnels, actually, because of the fall. A lot of them would get injured. It was 10 feet. The basements underneath the bar actually linked to the Willamette River, which would make it easier for the people to actually get from the tunnels to the river and onto the ships. So, the victims were forcibly held until the ship was ready in cells in the tunnel, and the people would take their shoes, and so it wouldn't be easy for them to escape, and they would actually spread broken glass up and down the tunnels, so that in the case they would, escape, they wouldn't be able to get very far from their injuries, and if they did, they would get, so cut up they'd be able to follow a trail of blood. So, that was gross. The Portland Underground linked Chinatown to downtown Portland, and then linked both of them together, leading to the Willamette River. The police were actually paid off not to do anything about it, because the people who shanghaied the men had so much money that they could just pay off all the cops. They couldn't do anything about it. And women were careful not to be drugged and brought down because they were used as prostitutes. And although a lot of men came back from the Orient, not a lot, but some of them did, most of the women didn't. And so the Prohibition from 1920 to 1933 made the bars move underground because at the time it was illegal for alcohol, obviously. So it was easier for the men to actually take the drunk guys and get them into the tunnels because they were already underground. So, now moving on to the modern day tourist attractions that the tours now are. Portland Walking Tours offers tours that are 2 hours long, about a mile walking, $20, and it's PG-13, so no kids are allowed. And according to their website, a lot of the people who have gone through have smelled certain things that they shouldn't smell, like perfume, cologne, and alcohol, heard whispers that are both male and female, and seen lights like orbs and rods floating around. So it's a lot of paranormal things going on. And Secrets of the Tunnels says that underneath a place called Old Town Pizza, there's a ghost of a woman named Nina, who at the time was a prostitute, and the guys thought it would be a good idea to capture her and put her on the boats. However, she was injured from the 10-foot drop, and she died. So supposedly people have seen her and felt tugs on their clothing. So, conclusion, all big cities have skeletons. New York had the mafia, Detroit has a history of corrupt politicians, and Portland's no different. The Shanghai tunnels are defining factors in the creation of Portland. The horrors of the tunnels live in infamy and seemingly harmless city. It really makes you wonder what other dark secrets your own hometown